Hello!
Hello.
Hello!
Welcome to the Tingy Ting.
The dingy ting. I didn't know we were doing that today.
The Thingy Tingy.
Nice. Yeah, welcome to Don't Worry Everybody. Nice to see you all. There's lots of people in the room saying hi, hello, dogs are cool, and finally, all sorts of different stuff. I don't know who's the host today. Who's the host? Do you remember?
I think I am.
You think you are? Oh, I'm not on my, I'm still at my house yet. Still not living at my new house, but I'm going to try out using this internet. It got a little bit better recently, so hopefully the internet at this house will work and it won't just randomly cut out on me at some random point. If it does, I'll hop on my phone and get back on. So that is the case currently.
Cool. So we actually have someone asking what happened to Don't Worry Wednesday, which I will let you answer that.
Welcome to Don't Worry Wednesday! Except for it's, don't worry, not even gonna say the date because we're live streaming them on Saturdays, today actually, and then we're uploading them on Monday, so it's not Don't Worry Wednesday for now, but it is Don't Worry still. It's still the same brand of video. But we decided we wanted to do it live because it gives us a neat interaction with you guys. It actually makes it a lot easier, I think. Don't you think so? Rather than trying to have to figure out what kind of one we want to read on the day, like opening up all our messages.
Hold on, I'm gonna wait.
Ah, yeah. Wait, we weren't live during that?
No, we were, but I just turned it off and on real quick.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys,
Yeah.
we're good. We're back.
So yeah, sorry about that. Apparently it was laggy, so we fixed it. We were recording it, but now we're not. But it's fine. So what was I saying? Oh yeah, this is Don't Worry Wednesday now. I'm actually, this is what are we talking about? Tacos?
What happened to Don't Worry Wednesday, and how come you don't sing on stream anymore?
Okay, yeah. I'm not singing on stream right now just because I'm not in a good environment for it all. When I move to my new place, I'm gonna have a studio, so then I'll be able to do that again. And I'd probably be doing 2 streams on Saturday, every Saturday. One with Derek here, and we're gonna do Don't Worry Wednesday, or Don't Worry. and then do another one later in the day, probably with Amory or random guests, maybe even Derek, and he'll sing a little bit for you guys. He's got
No, he won't.
He sounds what? Yeah, he will. He totally would do it. I know him. He would do it. He would go, everybody.
Oh, McDonald had a farm.
Yeah. Oh wait, is that song copyright?
Oh, probably.
Uh-oh. But yeah, so actually I think this works a lot better for doing Don't Worries, don't you think so? I mean, it's a lot easier to find the comments we want to read and all of that. There's a lot more coming at us, and it's not like we have to go through it and then debate which ones we want to do between like all of them.
No, Ananya. We used to do Don't Worry on Wednesdays. We don't do that anymore. We just stream
That's
it.
Right. Yeah. It was a thing that Derek started. How many years ago?
2012.
2012. And
so
then
5 years ago.
Yeah, and he invited me sometime last year, and then we started doing them, and then we started doing them together, and then we decided to move it to a live stream because it works really well that way. So, anyways,
Kusaki, no, people can still catch up because we upload the episode on Monday.
Yes.
But if you want to watch all the episodes that we used to do on Wednesday, you can just go to either his channel or mine and go to the Don't Worry playlist, and it's all going to be there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you go to the Beta Cat, you can see his stuff. You can see the live stream, the upload of the live stream there. And I think on mine it's on Static P Plus. So you have to go to my other channel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so no matter what, if you're not here while it's live, you can still watch it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so
should we start?
Yeah, we should start. Let's do it actually now.
Or actually, here's one question. It's related to the stream, but Nana says, how long is the stream? Or how long is it going to be today?
I don't know. It's usually about an hour or maybe 2.
Yeah,
but
it'll be in between there.
It's something like that, yeah.
Okay, but I did see a question from Dawson. They said, I recently broke up with my girlfriend. Any advice? They have a lot of relationship problems the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, that's true. Why is everybody getting dumped or breaking up? Okay. I guess I don't really know all the details, but that's never a fun experience. It kind of hurts on the inside, as it would. But it's one of those things where it's you can do pretty much nothing about it except for move on. Unfortunately, you can sit there and feel bad about it, but the longer you do that, the longer you'll be in a state of feeling bad, naturally. The more time you reflect on all of the good memories that you had or the bad memories, the more you reflect on what did I do wrong, the longer you're just going to be kind of down on yourself. But you shouldn't be. I mean, it's good to maybe look at it and say, what did I do wrong? So you can do maybe a little bit better in your next relationship. But for the most part, when something like that happens, it's not really your choice. It's not something that you choose for yourself. It's the other individual generally. So because of that, there's nothing you can really do about it other than just kind of move on, unfortunately. Now, obviously, my suggestion would be to be a good friend to them at the least, because that's good and that's human and that's more rewarding than saying, oh, we'll never talk again, because there's no reason. I've been friends with all of the people that I've ended relationships with for years after breaking up, and it's a lot nicer that way, because yes, there's always that feeling oh yeah, we used to date, but at the same time, it's no big deal. It's yeah, we're just friends. It's cool. It is what it is. So I don't know. What do you got, Jared?
I agree with Ryan. Once you break up with someone, I mean, you're gonna feel sad. That's a given, and there's really no way out of that sadness other than moving on, coming to terms that that person has made the decision that friendship is the way to go, or unless it was a negative kind of breakup where you guys fought or something. But for the most part, as Ryan said, you just gotta move on and just focus on yourself, because you can't really dwell on the past. All it's gonna do is just make you sad. And just take the memories you had and remember that that's something that made you very happy. And then if you do get into a new relationship, which also, don't try to force a new relationship right away. That's definitely not good. Just have fun with life. And if someone comes along the way, cool. If not, that's also fine. Just cherish the memories, I guess. But also try not to force it, because that's not good for yourself or for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you have memories with this person, just because you're no longer together, those memories don't have to turn into bad memories. You can still cherish them. They can still be good things. They might be associated with a certain sort of pain of lacking, but if you'll eventually move on and say, now I'm with this other person, and I wouldn't be with this person now if I had never broken up with the other person, and you'll be glad for that. That's just the way it goes. Or you'll be in a different place in life and be like, you know what, I'm glad I am where I am. So it's generally how life goes. Julius Zeno, I am currently not doing music on this stream, but I will be doing music on streams in the future. So at this moment, I'm not going to do a song about kittens going on an adventure, but maybe ask when I'm doing a different kind of stream. Right now, I'm just doing a don't worry.
I know that dude asked you like 100 times.
Yeah,
I was just waiting for you to see it.
Yeah, he's really wanting me to do it, and that's all right. I can understand, because I used to do that, and I will do that in the future. But right now, we're just doing don't worry stream. Basically, you just give your issues or problems in the chat, and we're just going to try our best to help you from our own life experiences, so we can give back to the world what the world has given us. So yeah. Sorry, Julius.
Okay, so someone was actually asking a question. She asked twice because I'm pretty sure it's serious. It's from Sora.
Okay.
He person said, okay, so I haven't been with my parents for my entire life, and just 1 year ago I started to live with them, but I really hate them and I don't like the environment around them, and it's making me very sad and depressed.
You want to take this?
So I don't know what your situation is, why you haven't been living with them for your entire life. If it's a bad thing, if I'm gonna try to like do two answers so I can like help you the best way I can. If you weren't living with them for a bad reason, then if that bad reason still persists, I would say kind of make the best of it, because if you're there like not by free will, then you kind of just gotta deal with what you got. But if you're living with them, if you're living back with them because they've changed or your situation has changed, then I would say kind of look towards the positive things that is now your situation, which is you being back with your parents. And why is it that it's making you sad and depressed? Oh, she said I'm illegitimate. An illegitimate child, and it's a stepdad.
Oh, okay.
What is? You want to take that one?
What an illegitimate child is, because I actually don't know.
Yeah, but we're gonna need a little bit more detail. I mean, you don't have to give it to us, but in order for us to answer properly.
To parents who are legally married. Okay, so born to parents who are not married.
Oh, okay.
Or, wait. Legitimacy in traditional Western common law is the status of a child born to parents who are legally married to each other, and of child conceived before the parents obtained a legal divorce. Okay, so illegitimate child is someone who has their mother or dad have been divorced, or they're just separated.
Okay, and she said that their mom married into another dad.
Okay. Love you too. Okay. Married into. Okay.
Okay, so now that we know, well, I'm guessing you were with another family, and now you're back with your actual family? Or your actual birth parent, I guess?
Yeah, I'm assuming it's something like that.
I guess let me answer with a question so then I can like get an idea. Why is it that it makes you sad and depressed? Like, what is it about that? Is it because quote unquote illegitimate?
I think she's or he, Sora. It's actually up in the air about that. But anyways, okay, I was thinking maybe it was grandparents. So they were with the grandparents, and then now they're with their parents, and so they are depressed because of the environment that their parents are providing. I'm guessing that they're probably not giving much good attention, and the attention they give is not very heartfelt, possibly. Something like that.
Let's see. I'm sure she was writing an answer out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But in the meantime, I guess I'll just throw an answer out there while you're giving us more details.
Okay.
Or maybe she's not. Or maybe they're not.
Yeah, they said exactly.
Yeah.
Comment, I think. So.
Oh man. I mean, I can't. It's hard to answer without all the details. But if it's the environment, and if it's a bad environment, as in like it's being purposely negative, then my advice would be to speak up about it if it's on purpose. But if it's just a bad environment because you don't feel comfortable because you've been away from your parents for how many years already? If it's in that kind of sense environment where you're uncomfortable and it makes you sad, then you still kind of have to speak up and explain why you feel that way to them, and then to yourself too, because you always have to be honest with yourself, or else you're never really gonna get anywhere with your feelings. Because if you keep hiding them from yourself and others, that kind of hurts. But
yep.
Yeah, I'm having like a hard time answering this just because I don't know the details. I'm just trying to throw like a generic kind of,
Yeah.
I want to hear what Ryan has to say. I'm sure he has something.
All right. Yeah, it is hard because, knowing the exact details would be a little bit better. Unfortunately, that's okay though. I'm just gonna say this. That stinks. Being in a position where you are in an environment or in a home where they just don't really seem to care about you much. I know that I've known quite a few people that grew up in that kind of environment. I grew up in one half of my home was like that and the other half wasn't, and then there was a divorce and I lived with the one that wasn't, so I didn't really experience that too much in my youth, or I didn't experience that too much in my lifetime. But I know people who were like the kids would always do all the dishes and all the chores and the parents would do nothing. The parents would just boss them around the whole time, and then that sort of thing. Kind of like Cinderella. No joke. Like, that's actually a pretty good example. Except for instead of a maid, it's a child. Or was she a child? I don't remember. Anyways. I forgot what I was going to say. Okay, so it stinks to be in that environment, but what you kind of have to do is put yourself in a position where you have mental fortitude. Rather, choose not to be sad about life and the way that it is right now. Things will get better, and there's always good things. Sometimes it's hard to see the good things when you're surrounded by people who are always looking at the bad things. Sometimes if you're surrounded by people who are always negative or mean, you start to feel that way about yourself, or you start to see those things more. So just try to surround yourself with things that are a little bit on the brighter side of things and focus on those type of things. Because no matter how bad life is very valuable and very wonderful and worth living. It can be bad at times, but there are also good times. And it amazes me that, like, if you look back in the day, like back when there were slaves, right? And you had slaves, people who had no control of their lives, and they were, ridiculed all the time. Somehow some of the slaves knew how to be happy. They lived happy lives. They thought that life was a good thing and they enjoyed it, even though they were put in a position that they didn't really like. You can see that that they were happy. And they're like, how is that possible? Sometimes people with the worst position in life are the happiest. And that's because happiness is a mental battle, not necessarily a battle about what's going on around you. If you worry about what's going on around you, you'll never really become too happy, because then your happiness rides on whether or not life is going well, or if there's people around you that are being nice, or if the mood is just, or if everything happens just perfectly for you. Okay, anime and gaming are my two distractions from this life. Yeah, anime and gaming can be good. I mean, especially if you can like get friends off of it. If you take the time to do that, it can be cool. And you know, they're fun to pass the time with. But yeah, I would say start working on this kind of concept. You don't have to be upset if things aren't going well. You don't have to have a bad day if everything in that day seems bad. Because you get to choose how your attitude is, and you get to choose how you think about things, regardless of what's going on the outside. And that is true. It's not necessarily easy, and it takes a lot of practice. But if you can get good at that, then you'll have an incredible life, because then it won't matter what's going on that outside that sucks. All that matters is that you know how to be happy regardless of that. And then better times will come. They always do. I've met so many people who are like, no, they never come. I've been in this position for years and it stinks and blah, blah, blah. And then later in life, they have like the most awesome lives ever. And it's like, how did you get here? And they're like, I don't know. I got so lucky, you know? And it's like, yeah, I told you it's going to get better. So, yeah, that's the best I've got. Just remember that what's going on outside doesn't have to make you who you are. You don't have to be down on yourself or down about the world. You can look at the wonderful things in the world. Games are built with wonderful things. So is anime, so is the world, people, there's so many awesome things in life, but you have to take time to focus on those and not so much on the bad things.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, regardless of the bad things, you can have a good life.
I agree.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let us move on.
So I have a question here from Panda Pilot.
Okay.
They said, can you talk about toxic friendships? I have a friend who I've been friends for around 8 years now, and I don't know if I want it to last any longer. He simply doesn't treat me like a pal. Well, my good friend, I believe you gave yourself the answer there. Yeah. In all honesty, I think it's harder to let go of a friend when you're younger, because you may view the world very limitedly. But if someone's treating you like not very nice, then don't tolerate it. There's absolutely no reason to tolerate it. The only reason you are tolerating it is either you're lonely, you're afraid that you will not find another friend, or there is no one that's going to be able to replace this possibly best friend of yours. Which I can tell you that there are people out there who are far greater than this person you'll ever meet. And also by doing this, by hindering yourself, by not letting go, you're denying yourself a possibility of meeting new people and meeting amazing people. Me, myself, all the friends I've had from elementary up until high school, I think I only talked to maybe 3 people out of that entire lifetime. For a couple of reasons. One, I moved around a little bit when I was younger, so that's like a given that I didn't keep in touch with anybody. But during high school, the best friends I thought I had were my best friends, didn't really end up being best friends after I graduated. And then I met new people. Ryan's a great friend of mine. And I met just other people in life. And at first, when I first had to let go of someone, it was because they were just treating me poorly. They would only hit me up if I was available to like take them somewhere. Because I was driving at the time. And you start to see these patterns, and you have to decide for yourself, like, do you want to put up with this stuff, or do you want to just move on because you know that it's not good for you? And I made the decision that this person was not good for me. All they're really using me for is just to get places. Sure, they took care of me in the past, but it started taking advantage. And of course, I confronted them and explained everything, and then, 59, blah, 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 they don't see it that way. So, Panda, you can either tell your friend that, hey, stop being such a insert vulgar words, or just say, you know what, I don't want to deal with this. It was nice knowing you, but I'll catch you later, and then just panda off into the sunset, as you will.
Panda off into the sunset. Nice.
Yeah, that's all nice. I got.
I just realized the panda's face is like a double eclipse of the sun on the eyes. That's beautiful. You know, I had relatively the same experience. I mean, I went through school and I had very few friends until the end where I had a bunch of friends. But to be honest, I don't stay in touch with a single friend I've had in school. And they were my best friends. I mean, like, we were close. We did everything together. We had blast. Yes, we had much blast. But, you know, I'm not sad in any way that I don't really talk to them. I mean, I've tried, and then it just kind of is a dead end every time. It's like, yeah, yep, let's go and good, cool, all right. Yeah, that's the end of that conversation. And it's okay, you know. That's the way life works. It's as much as we cling to the individuals in our life, and I think that's a good thing. There's a lot of other fish in the sea, as they say. There's a lot of other people out there that can be your friend. And if someone's not a good friend, I'm going to give you a good definition I've heard of a good friend once. A good friend is someone who makes you a better person. If you have a friend that's making you into a better person or making your life better, then that's a good friend. That's a very good friend. So if they're doing the opposite, that's a bad friend, or that's not even really a friend. Because they're not in the relationship for you, they're in it for themselves. And if they're making you feel bad for their own gain, then that's not friendship. That's just them. That's basically just being a bully. So, you know, yeah, you pretty much already answered this question yourself. I think as much as it's not easy to move on, you can always leave them, you know, some slack and say, hey, if you know, like, I'm not going to be around you anymore. Like, I'm just going to go hang out with this other group of people now. And if you want to, I'll be friendly to you, but I'm not going to go out of my way now for you, because it's not worth it to me, and it's not worth it to you, because, I mean, technically you're making his life worse because you're allowing him to do bad things. So, and that just kind of reinforces a bad attitude in him. So it'd probably be better for him if you just moved away from him as well, or her, whatever it is. But there you go. Does anyone have a toothbrush I can borrow? Anyone?
Nice.
Wait. If you borrow somebody's toothbrush, then you're going to be brushing it with the toothbrush they brush their teeth with. Are you okay with that?
It's double cleanliness.
Yes. You know, people germs aren't like dog germs though. Or germs? Spit? What do they say? Saliva? I think they say like dog saliva is like healing, but I don't think you can just take dog saliva and that's so gross. Like, haha, you dog saliva, rub it on my cut. There we go. That's
okay.
Okay, let's go on.
We have one from Anonia. How do I control my fiery temper? I'm usually a very patient person, but on the rare occasions when I do lose my temper, I do things I end up regretting later. I just can't think when I'm angry.
This, you want me to take this?
Yeah.
Okay, this comes to something called emotional control, and really it's just how much control do you have? How much ability do you have in that? Like, sometimes emotions just overwhelm us. Sometimes we get into something and we end up doing bad things, and you know what? Everybody does it. I don't care who you are. You know, eventually someone cracks, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what's that cracking point? The only way to increase that cracking point is to experience bad things and overcome them time and time again. And slowly, as you do that, you'll get better. If you succumb to the rage, then you'll slowly get raged easier and easier. Especially if you say something like, especially if you justify it or say something like, but I deserve to be this angry, you know? The more you do that, the more likely you're going to get angry about more things. it wasn't fair what they did to me, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, I have to control my temper. I have to be in control of who I am at all times so that I can be the best me I can be at all times. So I think you're already on the right track. You just have to go through it. Unfortunately, it stinks and it's annoying and it makes you feel like crap because you didn't do the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
But emotional control, it sounds like you've already got it because you have patience. But yeah, just whenever something bad happens, remind yourself, or whenever you start to feel an emotion that you don't like, remind yourself, I don't like this emotion. It doesn't actually feel good. So I should just stop right now. And then change yourself, change the way you're thinking about the subject, take a step back. Always allow yourself time to step back. Just say, you know what? I'm just going to back off for a second, think about this logically, and say, all right, I'm just going to come at it from this direction instead of this beat 'em up direction. So yeah. What do you got on that, Derek?
So one of my good friends actually told me this when I first met him, probably back in like 2012. Every time something bad ever happened, or something that would like cause anyone to get upset, he would never do so. And I think I just asked him one day, I was like, dude, how can you like just take all the nonsense and blah blah blah? And he told me that, for what? I don't have time to be sad or to be angry. And like that was it. And then like as I got older and my experience got better, I realized, I think what he was trying to say was that I don't have time to like let my emotions, take charge of the decisions I make. And he'd rather just focus on the positive things in life rather than every little thing that would make you upset. Because nowadays people get upset for like such random things, like, oh, I lost my phone, my dog ate my shoe, and whatever. These are all like materialistic things that can be replaced. Because like people are so spoiled these days, dude. They're so spoiled. Every little thing bothers them. And even people that already have everything, they still let things bother them when they shouldn't. It's like, and it's not more or less like they're having this depression or this kind of emotional feeling. They're just that way because they're spoiled. And in this day and age, everything, we have to thank our old generation for giving us the participation award. And that made everyone feel like they're justified to have kind of whatever they want. But anyway, going off track, I used to have that same problem too, not like super angry. I don't really have a temper, but when I get sad, I like really let myself get sad. I don't do that much anymore. I still do sometimes because I'm a human being and, human being stuff that happens. But as soon as you catch yourself doing it and you stop yourself, that's like 1 point. And if you do it again, that's another point. And as you keep doing it, you start to realize that, oh, it's not really that much of a big deal. Yes, I can still get angry, but I don't have to get excessively angry. Or I can still get sad, but not... Except that's probably the bad one, because sadness is like... it's a humongous tank of sadness, and it can be filled up to as high as it can go. So that's probably a bad example. But like emotions like that, like tempers, angers, things of that nature, you can definitely control that, either through yourself or someone just like catching you on it. Like, hey, don't do that, man. I saw you over there looking at that guy over there, man. Don't do that.
Yeah, ooh, don't look at it. I'm gonna go more there and smack you one. Yeah, no, you said something great in that, and it made me think of, what was I thinking of? I think, okay, sometimes you're in a position where, like, a lot of it is pride, like, you feel bad, and then you cling to that bad feeling. You're like, I don't know why, but I keep on holding on to this because I want to make myself right for having this feeling, even though I know it's terrible and it's making me feel crappy. And I want to, like, when you want your way so bad, even though you know you're wrong, sometimes you have to allow yourself to just be wrong and move on. Like, learning that one thing changed my life radically, because, and sometimes I have to remind myself that that's the case. It's okay to just be wrong about something and move on. like when you get in an argument with somebody and then just be like, maybe you are right, but just to be like, whatever, this is an argument. It doesn't even matter. It's not even going to remember this like 10 years from now. Who cares, right? I'm willing to take the blow just for the sake of this friendship and just be like, yeah, okay, sure. That sounds all right. And then give in. It's okay to lose an argument. It's okay to be wrong. It's okay to be, humbled, to be put in a position where it's like, I'm not the best, Whenever you see yourself in a position where it's like, oh, I can trump this person by being right, you're in the wrong position.
You want to reply to that?
Yes.
You got a donation.
Exorcisto Hana Cross. Okay, Exorcist Hana Cross. Just recently found you, and I'm happy I come from a creative family, and it's nice to see your passion. The Wisdom live stream is great for everyone. Have a nice day. Thank you.
Yay. Nani? Oh man.
What?
Nothing.
Oh, thank you.
Alpha keeps falling off my shoulder.
Oh no. Thank you very much, Exorcist. You're awesome. Or maybe I should just call you Hannah. Hannah? Is it Hannah or Hannah? I wonder. There's not two A's.
Hannah
so maybe
the
just
banana.
Hannah. Ooh.
Those are
Exorcist
delicious.
Hannah. I love bananas. Dude, this thing that I do all the time. You take milk. No, you don't do that. You take a banana. Yes, you do that. You take a banana, you put it in a cup, and you mush it until it's a juicy mess paste thingy. And then you put milk in it, and you have a banana milk shake. And then, or just banana milk, it's called banana milk. And then you put like stuff in it. You can put like strawberry milk in it, and it's banana strawberry. Or you put chocolate, and it's banana chocolate. And I love that. Or you put like milk powder, which is awesome. Tastes great.
Nice.
That's one of my favorite drinks is, and I'm not a big fan of milk, but I really like mixing a banana into my milk. That's my thing.
This is
but yeah,
amazing.
thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Let's see. Okay, this one looks like a long
Bye-bye.
question.
Bye, Jake.
So Annie said, "Oh no, chat, stop moving." My best friend has a lot of self-esteem issues about her weight and how she looks in general. I always talk with her about this and try to comfort her, but she doubts me. She tries not eating in order to lose weight. She's told me that she feels that she doesn't deserve to eat. My words seem to help her for a short amount of time, but I can tell that it really gets to her, and I'm afraid that she will actually hurt herself at some point. Her family insults her on her weight. Oh, what? And ignores her emotional problems. Oh, dude. Brushing them off as stupid. What can I do as a friend to help her? Thanks for reading. That's a terrible environment.
That's rough. Jeez.
Yeah, dude.
Okay. I'll let you start with that.
So I'm gonna go off the advice that I gave my friend. This was towards his mother. His mom was pretty much just like his mom and the dad was separated, but the mom was always coming over to the son, which is one of my good friends, and just every time she came to visit was just to ask for money so she can go gamble and spend it all and then be gone for weeks, months at a time, come back and do it all over again. And I remember he just called me one day late at night. It was like 4 a.m. It's like, dude, I can't do this anymore. I love my mom, but I don't think she loves me even though she says it. And what I told him was that, even though she's family and all she's really doing is just causing you pain, I honestly feel that you should just cut her off and just focus on the one that actually does care about you, who's taking care of you, which is your dad. And whether or not that was advice is right or wrong, I think he's been happy ever since. I don't think he's talked to his mom in a while, but he was doing the best that he thought he could. His mom was coming, asking for money. She would lie to him too, that it was for like bills and stuff, but he knew she was going gambling because he would find out from his dad, because she would like call him drunk and blah blah blah. and she would come again, just ask for money, and I guess he kind of felt like he was paying for the love of his mom, paying for the attention, which, that's a terrible feeling. So what I'm trying to say is that maybe your friend just has to do the same thing, like cut the family off. I mean, I have no idea how old you guys are, but you like not cut her off in the sense of like just leave the house and like go live in the jungle, but more or less just ignore everything the family is saying, and she has to focus on herself. And you as a friend, what you can do is encourage her to be better, work out with her, make a meal plan with her, because it's easier for someone to do things when someone else is doing it with them. And once they get traction going and once they create a schedule, they can start doing it on their own. And you can either continue doing it with them to, better yourself, or you can just watch them from a distance, check up on them, like, oh, hey, it's week 2. How is your eating habits? Have you lost any weight? Blah, blah, blah. Just kind of do those little things, because those little things help people so much. People fail to understand that, oh, what can I do? What can I offer to help? It's so insignificant, but to them, it's the greatest thing in the world. Just for someone to ask them, how are you? Tell me about it. What's going on in your life? These little things can make a huge impact on someone who's super depressed, or really just wants someone to talk to, because that's the trigger, is that people who are sad feel like they don't have no one to talk to, or feel like no one's going to listen to them. And yeah, just be that person right now, and then hopefully she can mature out of it and really start taking care of herself. And that's all I got.
Yeah, I think, if she says she doesn't deserve to eat or whatever, and that's been pounded into her probably from herself in a way, but her family and her current surroundings, how society views her, or how she assumes people view her, and it's really unfortunate. So you have to, I'm sure you already are doing this, but make sure she feels valued and appreciated and important. Sometimes a weight problem isn't necessarily to have to completely do with eating. Sometimes a weight problem could be a medical situation. I've got a couple of friends that is the case, with hormones and ovaries doing weird things, or some other certain types of diseases that are out there. So regardless of what is going on in her life, she's a human, and she needs to know that. She needs to be able to have a change of frame of heart, change of how she determines what she's worth. If you can help her to see that it doesn't matter so much how much fat is on a person's body that determines their worth, she would agree with that. Like, just say, I know it's a tough subject, because it's one of those situations, it's one of those subjects that's hard to talk about. But if you just say, look, doesn't matter how much lipids you have on your body, it doesn't determine how much you are worth. And especially if you say it doesn't determine how much you are worth to me. I think if you said something along those lines, it would give her an encouragement, and she would have to logically agree with that. Like, you know what? That is true. It doesn't matter, how much skin I have. It doesn't matter if my lips are bigger than other people, or if I have a tiny nose. I'm of the same value as everybody else because I'm human. So I think putting value into her mindset again is really important, so that she doesn't beat herself up. And the other thing you can do is what I recommend to a lot of people, besides what Derek said, because Derek's points are extremely great. The other thing I would recommend is try to publicly, and in front of her and in front of other people, but publicly make yourself a better person, and she'll catch on. If you are going out of your way to make your life better by changing who you are and becoming a better person, trying to be more virtuous, and doing things that are nice, or so on, even to strangers, especially to strangers when she's around, she'll see that, and she'll start to do the same thing. And as she starts to do the same thing, she's going to grow. And when she grows, that's exactly the thing. That's exactly the medicine she needs. Grows in her mind, makes herself proud of herself. You have to give herself a reason to be proud of herself so that she can value herself and not care so much about what her family says or care so much about what society thinks about her because of her weight. Because, it doesn't matter if you have a lot of weight or not. You're a person. That's what matters. There's all sorts of different people, and that's good. That's a good thing. So, anyways, yeah, if you work on improving yourself around her, she will see that and start to kind of do the same things. And she'll start to go, wow, that person's doing that nice thing. I want to do that nice thing. I'm just too shy to do it. But eventually she'll be like, okay, I'll do it. I'll do this nice thing. And then she'll do something nice. And then she'll be like, wow, this is awesome. Doing that is really kind of what changed my life. I used to be a lot harder on myself, but I watched people that were growing and their intentions were to grow as a person and become better people, and that changed me. And when I started doing the same thing, my friends started doing the same thing, and everybody was a lot happier with themselves and with each other. So yeah, those are my recommendations. And do what Derek said too. Hello everybody. Hello Adrian. Hello Koseki. Hello Ro. By the way, Ro, I got your package in the mails. I haven't opened it yet because
address, Ryan.
No, you can't read that. It says 127954 JMKL. I'm not even going to be living here for long, so that's okay. You're like, address, Ryan? Whatever.
I actually did that once on one of my YouTube videos. I showed the address to my house, and I had to delete the video.
Oh, man, it sucks. Well, I'm not worried, because, again, I'm not going to be living here for very long. And someone's going to show up the door, and they're going to be like, who are you?
Have you seen the YouTubes?
Yeah, is Static T here? And they're like, oh, that's my son. Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't live here. Oh, great.
But yeah.
Cool. Good job.
So she said thank
best
you.
Of wishes, Annie. Yeah.
You got this, Annie. It's gonna be okay.
This.
Okay, Annie.
Okay. Oh no! What have you done? Annie, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? You've been hit by, you've been struck by a smooth bit of cat.
Yeah, there's some people that understood that reference. Hooray.
Yeah, they got it. Mm-hmm, that's right.
Oh, wait, hold on a second. I got an email and I saw someone's name from the chat that I recognize.
Really?
Oh, from Aiko.
Oh.
Oh, she pledged to my Patreon.
Oh.
Hey, thank you so much.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that.
Guys, everybody do that. Everybody do that same exact thing I just did. Go to.
How did you even find my Patreon? I don't think Ryan linked it.
She went out of her way to do it. That's awesome.
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
It might be linked. I think I have. Oh wait, no, I have your Twitter and your.
I really
YouTube
appreciate that. I don't know if she's in there still, but thank you for the Patreon pledge. I love you so much. I'm Santa.
How do you spell that? How do you spell?
Let's see.
Do I like Pepsi and apples together? I have never had the two at the same time. I'm not a big fan of pop. I do drink pop every once in a while, but I generally stay away from it. Not just because it's healthy, but I stopped at one point drinking pop because I was like, it's not very good for me, so I'm just gonna drink tea. And I fell in love with tea, and then I stopped drinking pop. And then when I went back to drinking pop, I was like, nah, I'm just gonna go back to tea. It's not as good. The pop isn't so. But every once in a while, I'll get a pop.
Yeah, I used to drink soda like maybe 3 or 4 times a day, which is terrible.
Wow. Yeah.
But I've now limited myself to one, but of the diet variety. So, I mean, it's still pretty bad, but...
That's the worst kind.
No, it's not, Ryan. It's
yes, it is.
It's the diet the doctor told me that is the good one. He was sitting me on the table and was like, I see you used to drink 3 to 4 Pepsi cans a day. That's not good. Try the diet. It's the good one. Okay. And I was like, you talk just like my friends. I believe you.
That's awesome. You talk just like the good one. Actually, Diet Pepsi or Diet Coke, Diet whatever, Diet drinks, instead of sugar, they use a substitute. The issue is because you generally drink the pop because your body wants the sugar and it doesn't give it to you, you end up getting addicted to diet stuff because you're like, I crave this, and you drink more, and I crave this, and then you're actually just wanting something that it doesn't even have inside of it. Because you've already trained your body to think that it has sugar every time it tastes it, because it tastes sweet. But in the end, you don't get any sugar in your body, and so it's like, I'm lacking sugar still. And so then you end up drinking a lot of it. But as long as you don't do that, then you're fine. Because that's kind of the reason that sugar causes issues in your body, is because you end up overdosing on the fake sugars.
Actually, now that you mentioned that, I don't know if I told you, but like about a month ago, I was doing a keto diet, and What's you don't. It's short for ketogenic. There are these cells in your body called ketogens, and they only activate when there's no carbs in your system. Oh, and what they're supposed to do is it. What does it do again? Oh, it burns your fat, and not your carb storage.
Sure.
Because we've trained ourselves to eat bread and all that, and that's what we use for energy. Tons and then your ketogens are not activated. So once you have no more carbs in your system, you still have the fat left over from the carbs because it turns into glucose and whatever. Your ketogens start burning that instead. But dude, it was so difficult the first week because you're pretty much training your body into going into this new state of mind. So once I started eating carbs, I was only eating eggs, fish. You can eat vegetables.
I like eggs. I like fish. I like vegetables.
So just pretty much no carbs, no rice, no bread, no sweets because sugar. And I think I lost like 20 pounds in just like 30 weeks. I'm sure really? 10 of it was water weight because you go to the bathroom a lot because your body's not retaining anything because there's no carbs. But your body's also just purely burning fat because there's no carbs to burn because your ketogens are activated. But I'm bringing that up because you talked about sweetness because you're not eating anything sweet. I had one diet soda and it was super sweet because my body was like, what are you doing? So like one soda would like quench my cravings for a couple days because I was just pretty much just drinking water.
Yeah, well, because you have so many other drinks out there that, like, what are you gonna drink? I mean, you might be able to drink. I don't know if you could get away with coffee. Yeah,
you can drink coffee. It's actually really good too for the keto diet because coffee boosts metabolism.
It also dehydrates you.
So I was drinking kind of like coffee, water, and the you know what mayo is or Mio? The squirt thingies, like flavor enhancers. Yeah. So I was getting the ones that had vitamins in it because since I wasn't eating a lot of carbs, I needed certain vitamins that were inside of certain carbs.
Sure.
Yeah, it was a rough month, but I did it for a month and then I lost 20 pounds, but I haven't been on it because I don't think I could live that lifestyle forever.
Yeah, well, like, the intended purpose is not to live on it for the rest of your life, right? I know some people that do that. They take a diet and then they live on it for the rest of their life, and they're like, and that's awesome that they are able to do that. But the point of a diet is to get your life in a better position, but eventually be able to reduce the amount of carbs that you take in, but not completely destroy them.
Yeah, I'd rather just go to the gym Actually, some sort of games. I used to go to the gym. I used to be really into fitness, actually. I would go 5 times a week. I prepared my meals for the week. On Sunday, I would make breakfast, lunch, and dinner, put them in containers, and put them in the fridge. So then, when I was hungry, I would just pull them out and microwave it, and then I'll go to the gym 5 days a week. But I haven't done that for like a long time.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to get back into it.
Oh, I'm sure that's quite that's the regimen. That's quite the intense regimen.
Yeah, and back then I wasn't really doing YouTube yet, so I had plenty of time to do whatever I wanted.
Fluttershy, you said, I need you to think about something that has been making me cry, but you didn't end up saying what that was. If you want us to talk about something, put the post down in the thingy book. Do the thing where you get the words on the screen for me so that I can see the screen and look at the words. Yeah.
Yes, do that thing
Yes.
so we may answer.
Please.
I just realized we went way off topic.
Oh yeah, I shouldn't be saying this, but I am not a fan of physical labor. I'm not a fan of physical things. I'm not even a fan of physical creative things. I don't like sculpting. I don't like building things out of wood or anything. I don't like putting machines together. I don't like it. I don't know why. So I'm not a big fan of going to the gym, but let me tell you this story of awesomeness. In 2 weeks, I got a 6-pack, and it was actually the beginnings of an 8-pack in only 2 weeks. And what I did was I was going to college, and I had a 40-minute drive there and a 40-minute drive back. And so on my way there, and I went 3 times a week. So on my way there, I would tense my stomach the entire time I drove. And by the way, when you do that, you really lose your sense of balance. You don't realize how much of your abdomens you use to stay balanced until you're tightening them the entire time you drive. But so I would tighten them for 40 minutes all the way there. And then I would do the same thing on the way back. And so 3 days a week for 2 weeks, I ended up with 2 6-packs because
2 6-packs? You had a 12-pack?
Yeah, I had a 12-pack. I ended up with 2 6-packs of pop, and then I drank it all down. I'm just kidding. No, I ended up with just 2 sets of 3-packs. Okay, I almost had an 8-pack. Yeah. Anyways, because tone, like how your muscles look on your body, it's called tone. Like if you see someone flexing, you can see the muscle lines and stuff. That's called tone. So, tone is something that's comprised of when your muscles are rebuilding themselves. What shape are they rebuilding themselves in? Are they rebuilding themselves in the tightened shape or the untightened shape, the loose shape? And so if you work out and you continue to tense those muscles for a long time while they're rebuilding, then you'll get toned. And that's what I figured out. And then I abused that, and I was like, sweet, I got 6-packs. And then I never did it again because I didn't really care that much.
Yeah, there you go. That's how you get 2 6-packs.
That's 2 6-packs. You can have 12 if you want.
You have a backup 6-pack.
You can just use the backup. Yeah, that's what I generally do whenever it's in question, whether I have one or not. I'm like, I'm gonna pull up my spare 6-pack. Oh, dance. That sounds awesome. Going to the gym twice a week, and I also do dance. Badminton. Dude, I love badminton. It's one of the most underrated games of all time, but badminton is awesome. I am terrible at it, but I think it's such a cool game.
Wait a second. Wait, Kusaki, why are you saying that we're not answering your question?
I think he asked questions, we didn't answer them.
I didn't see a question. If you could post it again, we'd be happy to. Just know that the chat is going quite fast.
Yeah, if you got the question, let me know. Sorry we got derailed there about all sorts of different things. Okay, the person, Fluttershy, did post. And she said, well, it's just that my boyfriend, he's like me, or me kinda a flirt, but I have stopped and wait, hold up, let me reread this. It's just that my boyfriend, he's like me, kinda a flirt, but I have stopped, and like every time I find him flirting with the girl in front of me, he goes home drinking. So they're older, I think, or maybe they're not. It doesn't really matter. That sounds like no fun. Did you get this question? It wasn't really a question, or rather, situation. Fluttershy says that her boyfriend flirts a lot, and he flirts a lot with a lot of girls in front of her, and then she says every time that he does it, he goes home drinking, which is kind of interesting. I'm wondering if it's because he drinks that he flirts, or if he is drinking because he saw that you caught him flirting. I don't know.
I am also trying to find, because we're getting asked 2 questions, because Koski wrote their question down.
When I found out, and I try my best to please him in every way, I think it helps. Oh, okay. Problem is out being bad-ish. I think some people.
Okay, so they have their question now. Kuski said, I want to know how to differentiate between the attention seekers and the real depressed.
Oh. I would say that the answer, well, okay. I would say that sometimes it's both. A person who is seeking attention is generally somebody who wants to feel good about themselves, right? And they're looking for that sense of good feeling from other people. And that can be an outcome of depression, but not always. I think in order to know whether someone's depressed or not, I would say, okay, all people who are attention seekers aren't necessarily depressed, but I would maybe say it like this. If they are seeking attention, but it's just because they like to have a good time, and that's part of their personality. Like, I know people that their personality is, like, I would say they're outgoing and people-oriented. They like big crowds. They like to be the center of attention because it's a good time for them. They like to make people laugh. That's who they are. And that's not because they're depressed. That's just because they're having a good time, and that's their personality. They like big crowds of people, and they like to get attention. But depressed people sometimes end up looking for other people to give them, or to acknowledge them, or to make them feel important, because that's exactly what they need. But at the same time, it's the thing that they need least, because they're dining on the outside world when really they need to fix their inside world first. A lot of people, they go into relationships because they're depressed. Like, if you have a guy who's depressed, sometimes he'll end up falling in love with a girl simply because she smiled at him and he wants to, or something, it's super easy to fall in love when you're depressed because you're looking for that person to make your life better, instead of just making it better yourself. And it's not good to put all that weight on another person. And you end up, instead of saying I love you, you say I love you, but it means, do you love me? You end up saying I love you because you're waiting for the person to say I love you back, because that's all you really want. You want their love, but you don't really care too much about the rest. And it's unfortunate. But I think the best way to tell the difference is to examine the person, and see what does it seem like their outlook on life, because they could be both. They could just have a personality where they're outgoing and people oriented, where they like being the center of attention, but at the same time they're also depressed. I had a friend like that in high school. He was both. He would want the attention regardless, but I would say it's kind of up to examining the person and saying, okay, does this person like who they are? Does this person hate themselves inside? Is this person always putting themselves down, or saying they're not good enough, or they're not valuable, or anything like that? That's generally those are the thoughts of somebody who's depressed. Someone who's just an attention seeker is going to be generally a little bit more carefree. They're going to be not so hard on themselves. They're going to be a little bit more upbeat. How to tell the difference? I would say just kind of, it's more based off instinct until you actually get to know them and ask them. And if it's you, then evaluate yourself. Are you seeking attention because you want it to feel good, because you feel like you're not worth it, you feel like you're not valuable, and you feel like the attention that you get makes you feel better about yourself? Is that why you do it? Or is it that that's just what you've always done because that's who you are? You enjoy making people laugh. You enjoy being in a big crowd of people. Or even if it's one person on one person, you enjoy being intimate with that person, not in a romantic way, but in a way that means, like, personal and fun and whatever. Giving your attention to them and receiving attention back. I don't know. I think I said enough to answer the question. Did that answer your question? I'll give it over to Derek. Maybe he has a little bit more insight.
It's actually kind of I wouldn't say it's like really difficult to differentiate someone who's seeking attention and someone who's really depressed, because I think someone who's really depressed, you can tell in their demeanor rather than and someone who's just seeking attention, I mean, sure, there can be like some sadness behind the attention seeking which causes them to do that, but the way you can differentiate is when, if you try to connect with them, they kind of like purposely laugh it off, or when you see them acting with a group of people. It really comes down to how you perceive it, because I think that's like a gray area, because at that point you're like debating if that person really is depressed or not, which I don't think you should. You should kind of treat it relatively the same, and the way to do that is you just go over there and ask how they're really doing. Because if you start to like pick out who's being for real and who's faking it, you're pretty much just saying that that person should not be helped because they're just playing around. But then in reality, you have no idea if this person's playing around. So that's why it's better to just go and ask, or not even ask, just go and say hi, because if you ask, sometimes people just don't like sharing. So just go over there and just be a person and see what their actions are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think that's absolutely right. I mean, you can, judging by their posture, judging by how they're acting and stuff like that, kind of decipher. Like, I think the best thing is to have a conversation with them, and then in the conversation you can really pick up on, like, hey, it sounds like you're not, like, are you really enjoying your life? Are you all right? And then you're gonna be like, yeah, I'm fine. It's like, I kind of seems, are you sure? Like, and that can be good, because it helps break someone down in a nice way so they can be built up again. A great example of this is something I heard on a CD once. There was a guy, he was a speaker, and he said one of the biggest life-changing moments for him is when his, like, I think it was his uncle or something, who wasn't that much older than him, but he came by and he noticed that the kid wasn't really enjoying his life. He said, hey, I don't remember the exact words, but it was something along the lines of, like, hey, are you like, I think he said, how are you doing? And he said, fine. And he says, are you really not enjoying that life so much? And the guy kind of gave kind of like a generic answer. He said, I'm fine. I'm fine. And he said, well, there's a church down the road over there. It's on your way to school. If you ever feel like stopping by, just do that, and you'll get a sense of peace. And then he was like, okay, you're a weirdo. but because that guy reached out to him, a couple weeks later, he was like, you know what? I'm having a rough day, already in the beginning of the day. Maybe I will go to this church. And then he went to the church, and he started to change his behavior, and he started to set time for himself to think about things. And because someone reached out to him in that way, just kind of picking up on who he was, even though he wasn't really saying it, even though he might have denied it, just kind of, laid out in front of him and said, hey, look, I can see that you're not having the greatest, time in life right now. You're not really enjoying life that much. So, allow me to help you. That really changed his life completely, all, around. So I think it's good to do that to people, do that for people, reach out to people and call things out when you see them, but in the nicest way possible, so as to give them a chance to help themselves. Because otherwise they go through their life and they don't really even think about, I am not enjoying life. What can I do to make my life better? What should I be doing? What is the right thing to do? What is the best way to live? All these type of things, people generally don't think about. And if they would, then they can finally set themselves in a direction that is more enjoyable. Because if you never set a direction for yourself, how are you going to get there? How are you going to be happy if you're not even knowing how to get happy? If you don't know what it is, you have to figure it out, Bye-bye, Fluttershy.
Bye-bye, Fluttershy. I'm gonna miss you.
About your question.
She said I get to be the greatest best mate of all time. That wedding is not ready for my body.
Ooh. Because his body's a-coming. And once it comes...
it don't stop.
It don't stop coming. And they don't stop coming, and they don't
stop coming, and they don't stop coming, and they don't stop coming.
Hey now, you run out there and they don't stop coming.
Get your game on, get married, hey now. You're the best mate. Put your pants up, stuff and things.
All that's glitter and gold. Only shooting stars to break the mold.
Oh man, that's a super interesting question you just asked, Marius. They said, a friend of mine has a crush on someone, while someone else has a crush on my friend. If you were in the position of my friend, what would you do? I would go for the one that I have a crush on. Because, I mean, to be fair, the person that has a crush on me is none of my business. If they have a crush on me, that's cool. But if I don't have a crush on them, then that's cool as well. But I know what you're thinking. But what if the person you have a crush on says no? And then you try to go back to the girl that has a crush on you and they say no. And it's like, well, that's fine. I guess I'm just going to marry this ladybug then.
Yeah. I think, yeah. Sorry, I'll let you continue.
Well, no, that's pretty much all I got. I'm saying I'm going with my feelings.
Yeah. I think it's good to keep in mind you don't need to be in a relationship. I mean, it's not necessary. I mean, it is good. It's a good thing. But, I mean, do you need it to live? Is it important, like, to the fact that, like, we have to go and seek it out like crazy? No. If you ask somebody out, you know, and then they say no, then, oh, well, you're not in a relationship. You don't need to be in a relationship. In fact, relationships are hard. Relationships make your life harder. They do. They really do. You want to know why? Because when people get in a relationship, then they start to learn each other's faults. And then that's when it it gets hard because all your faults come out to the person that you like the most. It's a good thing because you're supposed to take that and grow from it. At the end of the day, you love each other, so it's okay. That's the point. Relationships are designed to be hard, to help each other grow to better people. But I mean, they make your life more difficult. They really do. They add more things to your life to do every day, and it can be good, it can be enjoyable, it can be beautiful. But my main thing to say here is, if you're trying to be in a relationship for the sake of being in a relationship, then don't be in one. You need to be in a relationship because you love somebody and you really want to give them everything to make their life the best possible, rather than just trying to get in a relationship for a status or for yourself, so that you can feel good about yourself because you're in a relationship, or so that they can be nice to you and give you special attention. That doesn't go over very well, and it comes out pretty early in the mix of the relationship. If that's what you're doing, you'll experience hard times very quickly. So yeah, I would go with what Derek said. I mean, you don't have to be in a relationship, so you don't really need to go out with a person that likes you just because they like you, unless you decide that you like them back.
Okay, Panda. Look what Panda wrote. Well, I love you too, but I'm going to go Panda off now.
Nice, into the sunset.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right, have fun.
Yeah,
Okay.
have a wonderful birthday party with your cousins. It's awesome.
I saw your question, Kitty Catty, and they said, I get annoyed easily and I do everything I can think of, but it doesn't help. And I try to listen to relaxing music, but it does help. I wish I knew if there was any way to help. And I think we kind of touched up on this with the whole anger thing. So it's kind of like in the same spectrum of, you have to catch yourself getting a certain negative feeling and kind of taming it. So, Kitty Catty, every time you get annoyed, like excessively, just try to catch yourself. I mean, because you're still in control of your mind, at the very least, rather than your emotions. Yeah, as Ryan said, just like put your arms around your body, like, don't do the dingy. And then, yeah, just say, you get annoyed, like your water bottle falls and you get super upset. Just like, no, it's okay. I just pick a water bottle and I put it back on the standing, and then I put it back on the thing. And then you did it!
Yeah!
But yeah, what do you got?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you were here earlier when we talked about it, but yeah, it's a lot about just having mental fortitude, about being able to step back when something happens. If you feel an emotion you don't like, this is what I learned in my later years of high school, and it really helped me, and it's that if I feel an emotion I don't like anytime I feel like an emotion I don't like, whether it's sadness or anger or taking offense to something, or there's a pickle that's touching me and I don't like it. Anytime I don't like the feeling I'm experiencing, I take a step back and assess it logically. I say, how am I going to react to this? Am I going to be angry and mean? Or is it much better just to say, you know what, I don't feel like I want to be angry. I don't feel like being sad is enjoyable, so I'm just going to not be. Now, saying I'm just going to not be doesn't make it go away. But when you take the step in the right direction, it goes away a lot quicker. Like, if someone does something and you're angry about it, and you take a step back and you say, you know what, instead of reacting with anger, I'm just going to just carry on my way and just actually walk away. Or I'm just going to say something really nice to them and be like, you know what, it's okay that you're a jerk, but I'm going to say something nice like, hey, I actually didn't like that, but I think that you're generally a cool person. Or, I think that you're a pretty funny guy. Or I like your shoes. Or yeah, it's a really nice haircut you have. Anyways, it doesn't really matter. Or whatever it is. If you get angry that your water bottle fell on the floor, or if you get if you get angry that your water bottle fell on the floor, what is this, a tongue twister? If you get angry that your water bottle if you get angry that your water bottle fell on the floor, like Derek said, if it just pandas off onto the ground, then and you're like, oh, this is frustrating. Everything's going wrong today. Why?
Yeah.
Oh, now the floor's wet. Blah blah blah. If you give into that, you only upset yourself even more, because then you'll look back and be like, oh, I was angry again. It's stupid, you know. And then, or you'll be angry for even longer. But if instead it happens, you're like, meh, whatever. It stinks. I'm angry, but you know what? I'm just gonna clean it up, and it's all right. If you just tell yourself that, as soon as you start cleaning it up and it's done, it's done. Once you clean it up, it's done. The anger is gone. It doesn't last. It doesn't carry on, because you're gonna have to clean it up either way, right? So it's good to take a step back and just be logical. And you're not gonna get it right every time, but every time you do get it right, every time you feel something bad, and then do the right thing, regardless of that emotion that you're experiencing. Every time you actually have the every time you do that successfully, as Derek said, you get 1 point, and that makes you stronger every time. You'll be able to do it better and better as you continue to do that throughout your life. And it's called emotional control or emotional intelligence. It's an actual term, but yeah, a lot of people don't know it's a thing. And I learned about it when I was near the end of high school, and I was like, this is awesome. I don't have to be mad when I'm mad. Sweet.
Amazing.
It's
This is the
amazing.
greatest superpower of all time. Why no one tell me?
Yeah. If someone says something mean, I don't have to take offense. I can actually just say,
I can just
I'd
ignore
rather
it.
not. Yeah, I could just ignore it. Like, that's a thing.
What? I don't have to
can
reply to
actually
someone's
just
YouTube
reply,
comment?
like,
What? No way.
Yeah. They can say something mean. I can be like, that's actually pretty funny. And then I feel good about it. What is this?
Starwolf said, can you make live streams more than once a week? I don't think that's possible because we're both very busy individuals.
We might be able to, but it's not going to be, don't worry. The beta cat here, Mr. Derek San Kana Kun Senpai, is doing has been doing some more streams lately with gaming. And sometimes I'm there with him. And sometimes I'm not. But he's doing more streams right now. Basically, he's done one extra stream every week, I think. This past, I don't know.
I stream pretty much whenever I can because
it's 100% random when he does it.
Yeah, because I work right now. What I'm doing, I'm working freelance, and what freelance is, I work for myself, and I work at random times, whatever it may be. So I don't have like a set schedule. I have a set schedule on the weekends because I choose not to work. Because if I didn't choose not to work, I'd go crazy from working all the time. So, that's my side, and then Ryan's side, if you want to tell him.
I just don't have the ability right now because of my internet situation. Right now, Derek is actually streaming this on my channel, which is awesome of him, but my internet could just cut out at any point, randomly, in any point in time. Of course, that's funny because it's happened to us a couple times when you've done it, just because, like, power outs and stuff. But
Oh, yeah.
either mine would be, it would just go out, and then it wouldn't come back on for like a day. And it's like, it's happened quite a few times, so I don't even want to risk it. It is better now than it has been in the past. I'm actually able to use my computer now. But eventually when I get my own, when we move into our new house, we're going to have a lot better internet there, and it's going to be a lot more stable, and I'll start doing more streams. I'm actually going to be doing probably 2 streams every week. It might both be on Saturday, but we'll see. Pokemon, gotta catch them all. It's you and me.
Kill them all until they're extinct.
Isn't that what you do? Isn't that the point of Pokemon?
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
Yeah. It's like you want to catch them all, but you want to be the last one with all of them. Like, you have to kill all the other ones so that you can have the only Raichu and the only Bulbasaur. Copyright.
The Blank Rogue said, thanks guys for the help. At the moment, my plan is to leave it until I do leave home, which seems so freaking far away. I might try telling my sister. Ooh, so you're going on your own, huh?
What is this? What is this in response to?
I'm actually thinking the same thing because.
Was it the last one we just did? What?
Oh, I think the chat's helping her.
Oh, yeah.
And that's an answer to the
yes.
chat.
Yes. Yes.
Once again, chat, give yourself a round of applause for helping each other. Because Ryan and myself can't keep up with every single question, so we really appreciate when you guys chime in and try to do your best.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's awesome.
Yes, Elf Bob, we do stream every Saturday. Every Saturday at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, or whatever time zone is. But the best way to know when we get live is to subscribe to Ryan if you have not already, and hit the bell icon on his channel so when we go live, you'll get notified. Because, time zones and stuff. And sometimes we're late, sometimes we're early, sometimes maybe we just can't. Which we haven't had that so far. We've been on time, not on time, but we've been here.
Well, I think we've been on time too, pretty much. We've been pretty consistent here somehow. Because I'm terrible with it. It's because you're doing it. It's because you're actually doing the stream. If it was me, it would be like 15 minutes late or something every time.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, we are part of this community. It's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It's phenomenal.
No, I did have it. Black Eye asked, so this isn't Don't Worry Wednesday anymore? Yes and no. We're just not doing it on a Wednesday. It's still the Don't Worry show. Still the same thing. We're just streaming it now because I'm assuming you weren't here earlier. But we're streaming it because it's a lot easier on the both of us because, once again, busy schedules. And it's a more interactive, and we hope you guys enjoyed that. You guys can not only ask questions, but interact at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really like this live stream situation because it's just like it allows people to ask questions and get them answered right away. And also people are able to talk to each other in the chat, and it's been awesome that you guys are helping each other out. It's so cool. That is not something I really expected to even happen, but it's been happening the last couple of times, so way to go.
Okay, bye, Ariana. We appreciate you and love you forever. Awesome.
Yes. All right. So what time are we at right now?
We're about to hit an hour and a half.
An hour and a half.
Yeah.
All right. Any more questions, anybody? Or should we just end it?
Wait, it has Wednesday in the name?
Or does it? No?
No,
it shouldn't. Should just be Don't Worry.
Yeah. Unless you're talking about the previous episodes. If the previous episodes had Wednesday, that means that those were the original Wednesday recordings.
Yes, that's right.
So I'm not going to go back and change all possibly 300 or 400 episodes.
Yeah, that would be nuts. All right, the Pokey Gamer says he has to go to the bathroom, so everybody sub to him so that he can go to the bathroom appropriately, please. Because there's no way he's going to get to that bathroom on time unless you sub to him, according to the context of what I've just made for him.
That dude's just been asking you to shout him out this whole time.
Yeah, I'll just shout him out.
Are you even a follower? Huh? Are you just coming? Are you just popping in here?
What's up with that, huh? What's up with that? I don't even care. If he's on here and he's never even heard my channel before, that doesn't even bother me. Welcome, and at least he's getting some good tidbits of information while he's here. But I assume that he's probably subscribed.
I'm gonna refrain myself from being extremely mean.
Yeah, that's good. That's probably pretty good of you.
Out of respect for you.
Oh, thank you.
But if this was my stream, oh man, not only me, my whole chat would be on you.
Oh yeah, that's fun. No, I don't really care that much. It doesn't bother me. Like I even like when people post their like, "Hey, come check out my channel," and I'm like, "Yeah, approve that message. I don't care." Like, because YouTube automatically marks it as spam, and I'm just like, whatever.
Oh yeah, but I don't think there's a. I mean, I guess you could, because I've been in like the process of setting up Nightbot on my stream, and you can put like filters, so if they say certain things, I'll just silence them.
Okay, this is Power Man. Je suis tout et vice. Okay, this is French, and I think. Wait, no. Je pense que c'est normal, car chaque mot est.
I got you, my dude.
I cannot even. You got this? Can you hit that up?
Power Man, I'm all agreed, but I think it's normal because every word is translated differently according to the country. After I use it often, but it's still complicated.
Wow.
I don't know who are you talking to?
Hey, he's talking to Power Man. I think. I'm not the Power Man.
So do you want to end it?
I've got the power! Yeah, let's end it.
Cool. So, thank you everyone for coming to the Don't Worry stream. If you are new to the stream, just popping in, be sure to subscribe to Ryan, Static P, and hit the bell icon so you are notified when we go live. But we go live every Saturday at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, PST. We answer questions of the helpfuls.
You're good at this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm being serious. You sound like a legit end announcer guy. I mean, you just roll it off your tongue like it's natural. Every time I try to end, I'm like
still begging for subs.
Every time I try to end it, I'm just super awkward and I don't know what to say. And I'm like, yeah, this is the end. You did it. Welcome.
This is the end.
Good job. I think you made it.
Goodbye.
Game over. Bye-bye. And then I just end it because I have no idea how to say bye.
Awesome. Yes, we can share tacos. Oh,
yes.
One more thing. I'm gonna make this a thing. Go to Ryan's Twitter if you have not already. Follow him on Twitter, #ShareTacos, and tweet him a picture of a taco.
Oh,
So
snap.
go on Twitter, follow Ryan at StaticP.
Oh, I came up with this awesome analogy. I have to tell you. Okay. Tacos are like happiness. Okay? Because if you look at the shape of a taco, it looks like a big frown. Until you turn it upside down and everything falls out, and then you're happy.
So you're just throwing up happiness?
No, yeah. No, what I mean is, if you empty yourself out of all of those, if you empty yourself out of all of those things that are not good, although tacos filled with many things, desires, maybe then you're gonna have happiness because you.
All right, there you go, guys.
That's awesome.
Get a picture of a taco that's smiling and then
upside down.
Yeah.
Upside down taco, smiley face.
Awesome. Well,
your mom just brought tacos out of nowhere. Hey, by the way, we got tacos.
Just serve it upside down.
It's upside down. I just see on a menu, you go to a restaurant and you're looking at the menu and it's upside down taco and you're thinking about it and you're like, I almost want to get it just to see what that is. And then they give it to you on a plate and it's literally just everything is outside of the taco and it's just not even placed well on the plate. It just looks like a mess. And there's the taco shell just sitting on top of it.
Nice.
Thanks, guys.
Cool.
Awesome. Well, everybody have a wonderful rest of your day or night, whatever you're looking at in front of you. And I think we're gonna wrap this up. Is that right?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.